I'm Yael Tygiel for The Beat here at San Diego Comic-Con talking to the voice actors from Netflix's She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
Let's talk about She-Ra.
Okay.
You have been voicing She-Ra and Adora for 2 seasons. 3rd season's coming out soon. What is the biggest lesson you've learned about voicing a character like this?
Voicing a character like Adora, you just have to go in open to what's happening. So you really can't put on like an air about her. You just have to tell the truth. This is so deep, but really you just have to be centered and just do it, play the truth, and don't try to add any flair or flash.
Do you feel like you do something different when She-Ra is there?
Maybe, yeah. I think maybe I deepen my voice a little bit, and also I always think it's like this is like her zone. Like this is a one time where she's not plagued by like existential crisis and like identity questions. You know, she's literally just tasking and just being hero. So yeah, I don't know how that's playable, but it's just like when like a professional athlete's in the zone. You can't pull out a sword unless you're pulling out a sword. You know what I mean? And you got to jump around, you got to do the thing. So I always try to stretch a little bit before. You never know where you're going to get. Sometimes they're like big screaming episodes, so you have to really like warm up your voice, and but it's never a dull moment.
Frosta's the youngest out of everyone, so she's 11 3/4, but she's turning 12 soon.
Yeah. She makes sure everyone's aware.
She makes sure that everyone knows that it's 3/4, and even though she's the youngest, she's one of the strongest out of all of the princesses. She's got her awesome ice fists and her ice daggers, and she is the ruler of one of the biggest, most powerful kingdoms on the entire planet. And so I think that that's a really great role model for kids to see that no matter how old you are, you can still make a difference and that you're still important and you have a voice.
You have a very recognizable voice. People know you from Blackish.
Yeah.
How do you change it up a little bit to be Bow?
I think one of the interesting things when I first started She-Ra, I think it was like 16 or something, so my voice, I was kind of going endings of puberty, voice was kind of cracky, so I kind of sometimes have to take it there. Even now, like when my voice is like finally changed, I got to go into that voice cracky range for Bow a little bit sometimes.
I gotta ask, do you ever walk around with your midriff showing?
I haven't rocked the male crop top yet. I don't have enough confidence for that. I'm at the male romper vibe right now. It's 2 pieces, but it's almost a jumpsuit. So yeah.
Let's talk about going from season 1. There was a little bit of controversy. Some fanboys cried a bit. Boo-hoo. And now we're going into season 3. What's it been like, this journey for you from season 1 to now?
You know, I think when the show came out, it wasn't totally a surprise that people were very attached to the original version. But, you know, I think all the time we just knew that as soon as people watched the show that they were going to see that, you know, this was a very loving homage and that we had crafted it very carefully. And I think that we've seen with this swell of positivity, like it's people are connecting to it in this way. And it's just been so great to watch. Or it's just like the amount of negativity has dwindled down to almost nothing at this point. And it's like we just get to tell the story that we wanted to tell, which is what we always wanted to do.
You know, it's crazy because I always think somebody's going to come up to me for like Blackish or something like that, and they're like, "Oh, we love you in She-Ra," and I'm like, "That's insane! Like, how do people know I voice Bow? Like, even my little cousin didn't know that."
Can you tell me your favorite thing about being part of this project?
I have always wanted to be a part of an animated show like this. I loved shows like Sailor Moon and My Little Pony that centered around rainbows and groups of awesome female characters and just superpowers and friendship, and to be part of something that's so like what I grew up with is so magical, and it means so much to me that there are so many diverse women being finally represented.
I didn't realize that I wanted to see a cartoon where everybody was drawn differently until I actually saw it, and then I was like, oh my gosh, all of these women have different body types, they're different heights, they're different weights, and it's never a conversation. It just is. And I think that that's such a representation of what real life actually is, which we rarely see in media, in you know, television and film. It's something that's, again, even in 2019, I think is so rare for it not to be a plot point. That it's like, hey guys, this is a real cross section of what women actually look like. You know what I mean?
So surprising.
It's so surprising that we're all built differently.
The representation is such an important part of it because we do want to take these stories that are classic in some ways, the sword and sorcery, sci-fi stories that we all know and love, and feature characters who don't always get to be the heroes of those stories. But I'm also excited to just kind of like do things with this story and with these characters that we don't always get to do. You might see a male character go through some of this, the complex plots, the complicated relationships.
I know there are a lot of shippers watching this show. Where do you stand on the ships?
I love all the ships. I need all the ships. I think they are important. I'm a fangirl. I used to love the X-Files and Xena, so I know what it's like to ship a relationship so hard. So I love it. I think it's all really great.
I also really love, we have this tease of a relationship growing. What can you tell me about that? Because I'm a shipper and I'm all in on this ship.
Listen, Catra and Scorpia is the love from the fans on the social media is amazing. I will say they are going on a journey in season 3 together. They are going into the Crimson Waste. They're spending a lot of time together, a lot of one-on-one time. Scorpia could not be happier. For people who are really, pulling for Catra and Scorpia, there will be an update to that situation.
Can I ask, I know I like that Scorpia always makes the move.
Yeah.
Catra gonna make a move?
Scorpia wishes.